Alright, here we go everyone with some more of the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. We're in the middle of our second trial and things are looking up for us at the moment. So hopefully things start going a little bit more smoothly, but you never know. So with all that said, I hope you all continue to enjoy watching and let's keep it going. Alright guys, and we're back. Alright, so changing my leaning to innocent, I should like to hear what the slipshod bookkeeper has to say for himself. Stuck the chap next to him just like this. Brazen, I must say. Absolutely brazen. Alright, remember this. Alright, so we took care of pitting juror number 2 and 5 together. The scoundrel stabbing that poor man on the floor. It beggars belief. So, we just need to find 2 jurors with contradictory statements and pit them against each other. How'd you know? Well, I took the liberty of doing some research in case you happen to find yourself in such a situation. Shall I read to you what I found out? It is a little long, I'm afraid. You know what? Go for it. Very well, listen to this. During the summation examination, you will hear the assertions of the 6 members of the jury. In this situation, the counsel for the defense should use R and pit with impunity. Oh, yeah, I kind of did this already. Oh, they're pretty much re-explaining to me everything. Alright, well. Alright, we can go. It wasn't that long. Once you compare the various jurors... Ah, okay, I didn't see that part. I see. She wasn't joking when she said it was long. The first step is to listen very carefully to what each individual juror has to say. Then I'm quite sure you'll start to see which ones might not agree with each other. Alright then, let's get to this right now so I never have to listen to that long and boring explanation again. That's the spirit. Well, on the plus side, she didn't read my mind on that front. Alright, number 1. There was no one else inside the carriage at the time, so it has to have been him. Number 2 we went over. Alright, number 3. He stuck the chap next to him just like this. Brazen, I must say. Absolutely brazen. 4. The scoundrel stabbing that poor man on the floor. It beggars belief. And I think I found them. Alright, we're gonna need 3 and 6. Oh, okay, we already picked 6. Okay. He stuck the chap next to him just like this. Brazen, I must say. And then, scoundrel on the floor. Alright, we're ready. Go. Objection! These 2 statements are completely contradictory. What? Explain, counsel, post haste. Oh, dearie me. I was only knitting a jumper for my other half. What is all this claptrap? What does contradictory even mean, I ask you? Wait, you don't even know what that means? We've heard from more than one witness that they allegedly saw the actual moment when the defendant stabbed the victim. Now, out of curiosity, juror number 3. What, can't you see that I'm busy here? Why is he holding a sharp object in court? How would you say the defendant stabbed the victim? What sort of motion was it? Ha! Wanna test me, do you? It was like this. Stuck the fellow next to him without even getting up, just like the prim banker said. Yes, that was Mr. Fairplay's testimony. Quite true. Now then, juror number 6. Oh, is that me? Is it? What can I do for you, young man? How would you say the defendant stabbed the victim, madam? Oh, well, dear, as far as I understand it, it was like this. He stabbed the poor man after he collapsed on the floor. The coachman said so. Now, don't move. Take a look at these 2 jurors. He stuck the fellow next to him without even getting up. And he stabbed the poor man after he collapsed on the floor. Well, I never. They're stabbing in totally different directions. I love this. What? Bless my stitches! What a muddle! What this tells us is that there's a strong possibility one of the witnesses isn't telling the truth. Oh. But why? Why the dickens would they lie? I don't know that yet. But what I do know is that if the trial ends at this point, we may never find out. We may never know the real truth. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, can you really let that happen in all good conscience? Lies, you say? Oh, dearie me. I can't abide people telling lies. There you go. Oh. Lovely. Semi-balanced. The scales. I don't believe it. Wait! Now hear this, my fellow jurors. I warn you, you cannot listen to this man. Look at him in his black suit. He's clearly some devious Eastern sorcerer using magic on us all. If I could use magic, do you really think I'd be putting myself through all this? Answer me this, Dark Jinx. Huh? Me? What exactly is the problem? What of it if two witnesses have slightly different relocations of events? Sorry, not relocation, recollection. What of it? Let's say the Shylock did stab the victim as he was sat next to him on the omnibus, and this young dandy saw him do it. And now let's say the victim collapsed on the floor and then the Shylock stabbed him again, and this old lady saw him do it. Well, what's to say it didn't happen like that, Who are you calling dandy, sir? Why, I should take this knife to you. Who are you calling old? Why, I should take this needle to you. They're ready to kill each other now. But could the foreman of the jury be right? Did the two witnesses see two different moments of the same crime? Nah, it's out of the question, man. Unfortunately, Mr. Foreman. What is it, you dark jinx? Come on out with it. What you're suggesting is impossible. It's out of the question. What are you talking about, man? How can you possibly say that? You do realize that I'm only doing my job. As foreman of the jury, I have a responsibility to steer everyone in the right direction. So, where's your evidence, man? That's what we want to see. I say the two witnesses saw two different moments of the same crime. If you say that's out of the question, show me proof. It looks like the only way I'm going to convince him is to present him with something he can't dismiss. Some irrefutable hard evidence. As you wish. What? I'll give you the proof. It's out of the question that the two witnesses saw two different moments of the same crime, as proven by... let's go to our court record. Ah, there it is. Alright, so I need to find the autopsy report, yep. And... take that! This is the victim's autopsy report. According to what's written here, Mr. Mason was stabbed in the abdomen. Only once. Huh? Only once? Look at him smashing that desk, man. Let's go. It's quite simple. The victim was stabbed precisely one time. Which means these witnesses can't possibly have seen it happen two different times. Alright, I concede defeat. That is lovely. Wait, that means 4 jurors are now leaning to not guilty. We've done it, Mr. Naruhodo. We've won. What are you playing at, you dandy fool? Shut your trap, sir. No one deceives me. But we had a consensus. I said, shut your trap. I know a liar when I see one. And if the chap ever dares to cross the threshold of my shop, I'll take this razor-sharp blade and shave every last hair of his head. That is gross, man. You can cut your tongue that way. Please tell me he's a barber. Well, in a quite remarkable turn of events, the defense summation examination has flipped the balance of the scales of justice. The jurors now stand at 2 for guilty and 4 for not guilty. Accordingly, there is no longer a large enough majority among the jury for me to adjudicate. And the trial must continue. I hereby ask the defense, prosecution, and witnesses to return to their places. And I call upon all of you to continue to pursue the truth. So, Lord Van Zeeks, continue to substantiate the case for the prosecution, if you please. Now there he goes again, pouring his little wine in his, what was it called? The hollow chalice. Oh, he's mad. Having savored the rich aroma of the carmine contents of this hallowed chalice. It may seem crass to crush it to dust. Pray forgive this discourtesy. Lord Van Zeeks! Is it cold in here or is it just me? As your antiquated tome no doubt says, the prosecution may not speak during a summation examination. So I honored a deathly silence and listened to the charade. It seems I overestimate the intelligence of the jury. Well, no matter. There is nothing so hard to prove as a self-evident truth, it would seem. No. And why else would we grace the courtroom with our presence after all? So, let us proceed to the next round of battle. Oh, he's serious now. Bring forth the witnesses once more. Witnesses, I trust you heard the summation examination we have just had to endure? Oh, yes, sir. I did, sir. Of course I heard it. Oh, yes, sir. I heard it. You, sir, on the end, the coachman, I believe it's Beppo? Yes, sir. My lord, sir. If it transpires that in your previous testimony, you were attempting to veil the presence of a 5th passenger on your omnibus, you will be found guilty of perjury. You are advised to bear that in mind, sir. Oh mio Dio. Love this. Now then, witnesses, I hereby call on you to testify before the court again. You will explain the various misgivings brought to our attention by the defense summation examination. Oh, we're back to this. I only carried 4 passengers that night, I swear it. But, well, I for one was told I had to pay a 5 pence for the bus. I filled us on the fare, he did. And then I saw that blood-curdling sight as well. It's all too much. I tell you, I saw McGilded stabbing that man. Everything I said before stands. Oh, yes. He stabbed him. Yes, he did. I think so, yes. You think so? Counsel, make sense of this for me, please. The phantom 5th passenger conjured into existence by my learned Eastern friend never existed. The confusion has arisen from the coachman's sly little kozenage. I hope I pronounced that right. If that's an English word, then I feel bad. Beppo, explain yourself. I'm terribly sorry, Guildmaster. The guild's fare is 4 pence across the board, you know that. Am I to understand that you've been overcharging our passengers by a penny a fare? It's so cold, and the last run of the day is always half empty. You have been dishonest, coachman. I'm sorry. You're a disgrace, Beppo. A disgrace. And your selfish actions have brought dishonor on the entire guild. If I may, sir, I had to pay 10 pence on the bus just last week. What? 4 passengers at 5 pence each is, yes, 20 pence. I've done the arithmetic 10 times already, but I just can't make the result come out differently. No, that figures. Well, it would appear that one of the aforementioned misgivings has already been explained. So, counsel for the defense, your cross-examination if you please. We've already had the pleasure of a protracted summation examination today. I see you intend to continue the parlor games. Absolutely. Alright. Let's see. Various misgivings. I only carried 4 passengers that night, I swear it, but... Well, I for one was told I had to pay 5 pence for the bus. He fiddled us on the fare, he did, and then I saw that blood-curdling sight as well. It's all too much. I tell you, I saw McGilden stabbing that man. Everything I said before stands. Oh yes, he stabbed him. Yes, he did. See, this makes me want to question him because he said, I think so. You should not be judging any type of action like this as something incredibly serious on a doubtful guess. I think so. No, no, no. I don't think so. Hold it! Earlier, you testified that you saw the moment when the defendant allegedly stabbed the victim, didn't you? Oh, yes. Yes, that's right. You said that the victim was on the floor and described the assailant holding the knife in an ice pick grip. I suppose I might have, you know, yes, put the cart before the horse, maybe. What's this? Well, I'm quite sure about most of it. I was driving the horses when I heard a scream from the seats on the roof deck. Oh, I expect that was me, sir. Then when I turned around, yes, I saw it through the skylight. The gentleman on the floor and the knife was sticking up out of his midriff. That's right, yes, and the fellow holding the handle was the famous man, yes. So in short, you didn't see the moment when the victim was actually stabbed at all. I really thought that I did, but when I go over it again in my head, no, I suppose I didn't actually see the precise moment the stab. Okay, I gotta. How do I catch this dude? I'm supposed to press something. He's reacting right now. Look around and then. Oh yeah, pursue. Excuse me. Do you have something to say about that, Mr. Fairplay? Now you listen to me. I know what you're thinking. He didn't really see the exact moment the fellow was stabbed. What are the chances of that? Are you asking me or telling me? He's getting flustered. I might be able to extract some new information from him if I answer him cleverly, not correctly. Could he have just happened to see the exact moment the crime was committed? Nah, chance. Well, it is a little hard to believe, certainly. Unless you spend your time peeping through a skylight on top of an omnibus, that is. Peeping? I'm a respectable city banker, I'll have you know. And I know what I saw. I remember it as clear as a Ballarat day. I don't know what that is. It was a grim scene, I don't mind telling you. Thank you, Mr. Fairplay. Oh, excuse me if I was getting a little hot under the collar there, my lord. I would ask you to supplement your testimony with a clear statement about what exactly you saw. Oh, I can do that alright. I'll tell you just how grim it was. Do you think I'd forget the sight of those blood-soaked hands after that butcher stabbed the man? Not long ago, this trial very nearly came to an end. Somehow we managed to keep our chances alive here. can't waste this cross-examination. I have to use it to bring some new facts to light. If you're not careful when you press these witnesses, the danger is that the jury will end up believing something unhelpful as they did before. Maybe, but we can't let the fear of that happening stop us from uncovering important new information. Yes, you're so right. I need to pay careful attention here. I don't want to miss even a flicker of her reaction among these witnesses. Remember, if you happen to spot one of the witnesses reacting in a strange way, don't hesitate to pursue them as to reason. Alright, so I have to press again. Well, I for one was told I had to pay 5 pence for the bus. Alright, the same one. He failed us in the fare, and I saw a blood-curdling sight as well. It's all too much. I tell you, I saw McGill stabbing that man. Okay. Do you think I'd forget the sight of those blood-soaked hands after that butcher stabbed the man? How about... No, that reminds me, he just said blood-soaked hands after that butcher stabbed the man. What about the gloves? Alright, hold on a second. And let's go. Objection! Blood-soaked hands. Well, I admit that soaked might be laying it on a little thick, but anyway, there was definitely blood all over them. Both of them were covered in it. Well, I'm very sorry to disagree, Mr. Fairplay, but that's more than a little peculiar. I like how confident he is right now, especially when he's holding onto the sword or leaning into it a bit. Must be the spirit of his best friend. What? Here are the gloves worn by the defendant, Mr. McGill, did on the night in question. Oh, yes, right. And there certainly does appear to be a sizable dark-colored stain there. But, as I'm sure you can clearly see, it's only on the right-hand glove. Ah! In short, Mr. Fairplay, your testimony is inconsistent. Ah! But no, that can't be right. So you're the liar here then. Gah! That's right, you were quite clear about it. You said, it was both hands. Mr. Fairplay, if your last statement was a lie, it calls your entire testimony into question. You say you saw the moment the victim was stabbed, but is that really the truth?
Objection!
It was a simple mistake. You can't justify accusing this man of lying. Yes, it wasn't both hands, it was only one, but the fact remains. The victim's blood was on the accused.
Objection!
Oh man, here we go. No, Mr. Fairplay categorically stated that he saw blood all over both hands, which means there's a strong possibility that the witness was deliberately trying to mislead the court. Why am I'm a city banker, for pity's sake. My word should be the gold standard. I'm a gentleman, not a gutter snipe. Upstanding members of society don't prevaricate. He's claiming to have no reason to lie. But is that really the case? Mr. Naruhodo, if we had some evidence to explain why Mr. Fairplay might be lying, it could turn the tide in this trial completely. Something to show this man has a compelling reason to lie in his testimony. I do have evidence. My lord. Yes, counsel. The defense is ready to present evidence. By-ho, are you sure? Yes, evidence that will clearly demonstrate why Mr. Fairplay had a reason to lie in his testimony. Gah! Very well. I hereby call on the defense to present its evidence. The evidence that demonstrates a motive for the witness' alleged deception in the court. Well, wouldn't it be the ledger? Right, let me examine it first though. This portfolio must contain all sorts of secrets of London's gentry. Oh dear, do you really think we ought to look inside? Well, it's not as though we know any of London's gentry personally, is it? Apart from our great detective friend, perhaps. Actually, I wonder. I assure you we will not find Mr. Sholmes' name inside. Well, let's see what we do find. Alright. Gosh, it's crammed full of gentlemen's names, isn't it? Well, I suppose they're probably not all gentlemen at all, are they? After all, not everyone in this country is well off. Ah, goodness! What is it? Look at this! Do you see the name here? Bruce Fairplay. Should that mean something to me? It does sound strangely familiar, actually. Bruce Fairplay, the witness testifying at this very moment. Oh, yes, of course, the banker! Why is his name in there? Ah, he borrowed 20 guineas, did he? And look, their repayment day is fast approaching. It's possible that this is just a coincidence, of course, but this could be very useful information. The details of the debtor's ledger have been updated in the court record. Okay, well then I guess we have something. Alright, then only one thing left to do. Take that! This is the list of debtors who owe money to Mr. McGilded. Yes, a list of innocent victims crippled by the accused's extortion. The point is, among the names of these debtors is your name. Mr. Bruce Fairplay. What? Mr. Fairplay, are you currently indebted financially to the accused? No. Well, it's barely worthy of being called a debt. According to this ledger, you owe 20 guineas, not an inconsiderable sum of money, wouldn't you say? Well, what of it? Let's suppose Mr. McGilded were to be found guilty of murder. What would become of your debt in that case? These documents state that the loan agreement is forged between two individual parties. Therefore, were the creditor, the defendant here, to be sentenced to a capital punishment, all outstanding debts which were owed to him would be annulled. They would cease to exist. Cease to exist? Mr. Fairplay, is it not the case that you claimed in your testimony to have seen something you never in fact saw, in a devious attempt to annul your debt of 20 guineas to the defendant? Order, Mr. Bruce Fairplay. Yes, my lord. Let me ask you again, and be aware that your answer may have most serious implications upon your future, sir. Did you, or did you not, see the precise moment in time at which the defendant is alleged to have thrust a knife into the victim? Your silence speaks volumes. You did not tell the truth in your testimony. All right, now let's not make a melodrama out of this. It's a little late for that. Perhaps I did overstate the truth a pinch. A pinch? But it makes no difference. I definitely remember seeing blood on McGilded's hands, both of them. Objection! And yet, only one of the defendant's gloves, which we have here as evidence, is stained. So you keep saying. I wonder if I might be allowed to speak, sir. Go ahead, Mr. First. Well, the thing is, I think I remember seeing it myself as it happens. Why does everyone keep answering with, I think? I guess? Maybe? No, you don't do that. Seeing what? The blood, sir, on the assailant's hands. I think, yes. I'm almost sure, that it was on both of his hands, not just one. What? What? Oh, that Yu-Gi-Oh effect again. It would appear that we're going to need further testimony from all you witnesses. This time, I would like to know precisely what you did and what you did not see. Do I make myself perfectly clear? Yes. Mr. Naruhodo, this is good news. The course of the trial seems to have shifted slightly at last. Yes. I might finally have a chance to turn things around here. Alright guys, I'm going to end it here for today. Thank you all for watching. When we get back, we're going to continue on with this trial and see it through. Thank you and see you all later.